Good morning, Crossroads South. Happy Thursday. It is Thursday, June 15th. It is an A day today, and we've had some wonderful music. I want to give a huge shout out to our jazz band and jazz ensembles for the gift of music this morning that they gave to staff and the whole community as we arrived this morning, whether it's in the library or out front of the school. It has been awesome. I think my favorite is seeing the people who live across the street outside saying, "What's this free concert that's happening at 7 o'clock in the morning?" So thank you for sharing the gift of music. Couple of big announcements. First of all, these two announcements are for 8th grade. 8th grade, you are getting your graduation tickets today. They're not electronic tickets, they are paper tickets. You need to take this envelope and put it in your backpack and bring it home to your adults ASAP today. We cannot reissue tickets. We have a set amount of tickets and you have the paper copy. If you lose them, there's nothing that we can do about that. So you really need to make sure that you are responsible with these tickets and you get them home today. All right. And I want to give a huge shout out to Mrs. Maurer and her senior society students who put together all of these tickets and took care of everything for graduation or for recognition. All right. 8th grade. Semi-formals tonight. We hope you're ready. We're looking forward to a night of fun, some dancing, and some great outfits. So we'll see you tonight at South Brunswick High School. Please make sure that you do not arrive too early, and you need to have your ID so that we can scan you in for arrival, okay? And thank you to our student council for putting all of this on. It's going to be a fun night, so thank you. All right, on to another big announcement. Tomorrow we do not have school, and that's because it's Juneteenth. The state recognizes tomorrow as Juneteenth, and the federal government recognizes it as Monday. But we have off for Juneteenth, and not many people know what Juneteenth is about. Juneteenth, so let me go back a little bit in history. When slavery was abolished, it was abolished and the president said, "We're not doing this anymore. Free slaves, you are not allowed to have somebody be your slave. That is absolutely inhumane, unacceptable, and a horrific practice or a horrific thing." So word got out, but the reality is, if you know any history about the United States, the North was against slavery and the South was fighting. That was part of the Civil War. And word did not get out to the South. So there were many people who were still enslaved for years after. And that's what Juneteenth is about, is that years after this went into effect for the country and people were just disregarding it, there was a person who rode into Galveston, Texas, and this is where Juneteenth comes in, on this day, and announced slavery is abolished. Like, get your act together, people in the South, and enough, and made the proclamation to free the slaves. So it's a recognition of the fact that even though something will go into effect, sometimes it takes years and years and years for that to really impact everybody. So that is what Juneteenth is about. You can read more about it and get to know more about it, but that is why we are celebrating this day and honoring and recognizing this day, because it was important in our history, okay? So that is Juneteenth. I also have another huge announcement. 6th and 7th graders, you saw an email that went out yesterday to families about a change next year to middle school. And then I sent an email late last night because I received so many emails. And you know what? Communication is important. And I want to acknowledge right now that the communication did not give you all the details that you needed. So here's what I want you to know. On Monday, we have a patterns assembly. After the patterns assembly, I'm going to spend some time talking to you all about what this change means when we announced that next year, 7th and 8th graders will be mixed together in units and mixed together in classes. I want to tell you that, speaking of history, this is the way, when I went to Crossroads, this is the way it was for me. It was for probably 46 years worth of Crossroads history. And only recently did we separate the grade levels. And we had distinct curriculum that was for 7th grade and 8th grade. And you all have been thinking this is the way it's always been, but that's not the case. It was based on units being mixed. And your teachers have a lot of information about this. They can help answer questions, but some of the kids are going, are we going to have to repeat curriculum? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Everybody next year is going to rise up and do an A year of curriculum, which is for 7th graders. This is new for you. This is what you would be studying in 8th grade anyway. And you will study that, and our rising 6th graders, you will study that, and then the following year you'll study the B year curriculum. So there's lots more details. People are worried about lunch, they're worried about friends, they're worried about lots of things, but I will fill in all the gaps when we meet on Monday, and you can certainly ask me. I have a few students that I'm going to be meeting with today to kind of help explain. I promise you, we would not do something that would be super detrimental to kids. That is just not in our thought process at all. But there is a lot of history and a lot of explaining that did not come out to you that we owe to you. So I apologize, and we will get on that and make sure that you fully understand some of the fun things that are going to be happening next year for sure. All right. So that's that. I apologize for the long morning announcements, but I had to do a big apology to our 6th and 7th graders. And 7th graders right now, look for me during lunch too. I'm going to try and give you some explanation there. Okay? All right, folks, let's stand for the salute to the flag. Here we go. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll talk. Bye.